On Sunday, September 25th, the Maine Eastern Railroad ran the excursion train from Rockland to Brunswick and then returned to Rockland. Conductor Ernie Vanna, Jr. attached the air and electrical hoses to the coaches and got ready for the trip. Engine number 488 is an EMD FL9 which ran on the New Haven Railroad and then on Amtrak. The locomotive is a hybrid diesel-electric built in 1957. It was developed especially for the New Haven Railroad. It was equipped with a third rail shoe that allowed the locomotive to operate electrically into New York's Grand Central Station and Penn Station. Trains traveled through the long tunnels before they reached the stations, and exhaust fumes would be dangerous in tunnels and stations. Inside the coaches were two groups of passengers, one from the Great Falls Model Railroad Club in Auburn, and the other from the reunion committee of the class of 1958 from Edward Little High School in Auburn. Regular passenger service on the railroad had ended in April of 1959. The Maine Eastern Railroad began excursion passenger service in July of 2004. In November 2003, the Maine Eastern Railroad began leasing the 57 miles of track between Rockland and Brunswick from the Maine Department of Transportation. Maine Eastern Railroad's major customers are Dragon Cement, Bath Iron Works, and the Chemrock Corporation. The railroad moves cement from the Dragon plant in Thomaston to the Rockland waterfront, where it is loaded onto barges. The covered hopper cars are rated for up to 263,000 pounds, which includes the weight of the car and the load. In Brunswick, the Maine Eastern Railroad interchanges with Pan Am Railways, which moves the Dragon Cement hopper cars into Canada. The Mill Creek Drawbridge is 732 feet long and was closed to navigation on June 7, 1934. Revolutionary War hero General Henry Knox had 9 outbuildings on his estate in Thomaston. Knox was our first Secretary of War. The brick building on the right was once used as a railroad station, but it is now Thomaston's Historical Society Museum. The St. George River Bridge was installed in 1922. The drawbridge was tested, but it was never used again. It was legally closed on April 25, 1930. The rails coming in from the left are the remnants of the Knox Railroad, built in 1893. It ran for 8 miles into Union, Maine.
Every time there's an Tell me what you know. In 10 seconds.
As we approach the Madomic Canning Company, many old-timers will remember their cans of squash and pumpkin pie fillings. Since one can of pie filling was exactly enough to make one pie, the brand name was One Pie. The Vanna Road is named for the family of today's engineer and conductor, a father-son combination.
thing about your reunion.
The Sheepscot River Drawbridge was built in 1916. The bridge is 1,003 feet long with a 400-foot main truss.
I'll be warning Miss Cass that if there's anybody else there to get on. I don't have anybody getting on. Roger,
1H. Longbridge is a favorite resting spot for herons, seagulls, and cormorants. Just ahead is the location of the former crossing of the 2-foot narrow-gauge Wiscasset, Waterville, and Farmington Railway. The WWNF used to transport lumber for worldwide distribution and milk for the Boston market. Pilings for the railroad and docks can still be seen sticking out of the water in the wharf area.
Yep, we'll roll by then. Heavy westbound coming down on Quasi, be advised, suspended, Linden locked, railroad control.
Up there somewhere.
The railroad refers to this area as Bayview. This 23-car passing track was frequently used when rail traffic was heavier.
Roger. Well, yeah, take more baby.
The Carlton Bridge, built in 1927, is the lowest point on the railroad. It is just under 8 feet above sea level as it passes over the water. Shipbuilder Bath Iron Works is still one of the largest employers in Maine. As the train slows to pick up additional passengers, we catch a glimpse of the former Maine Central Railroad passenger station built in 1941. It was renovated in 2007 and now contains a visitor center.
One car.
One.
Half a car. Feet, 10 feet, 5 feet, 2 feet, and so.
passengers will disembark and have time to go to one of Brunswick's many restaurants for lunch. There are even food vendors on the mall between Main Street and Park Row. The new passenger platform for the Brunswick station is not yet complete in September 2011. This Hannaford store is located on the site of the original brick railroad station in Brunswick.